Good afternoon. I work for the Spanish Ministry of Universities, so we do not represent one specific university, but the whole system. We provide information about all the Spanish higher education system. So we're trying to give you. Back. Now start. Okay, so as I was saying, I'm trying to summarize some of the opportunities that the Spanish system offers. Uh, we are a service that manages the Erasmus Plus program. Probably you know that. It's not a European program any longer. It involves partner countries. So your university here in Egypt may have an agreement with Spanish university, and you can be able to spend a semester or a full year in Spain. Even if you take part in apply for a Spanish university that's in a European alliance, you might spend 2 years in Europe because these alliances involve at least three European universities, and students move. But that's something that you have to check here because this is a decentralized action, and it depends on whether your university here has been selected. That's one of our actions, and the other one is the study in Spain, so that's promotion abroad of the Spanish system. The Spanish system, sorry, but apparently the images have been damaged and the graphs, but it's like that. Has a balance between private and public universities, state-funded and private ones. The price would be the same, but because the government funds 80% of the public universities, there's a big difference. We will talk about that a bit later. But there are more than 1,000 schools, although there are only 93 universities we will see. So they are large universities, they are all accredited, and they offer programs that have been, they have passed the process that it's long, and the ministry has carried out with them. This should be a map of Spain with all the universities all around the country to show you that you can go anywhere in the country. I know everybody is obsessed with studying in Madrid and Barcelona, which are great cities, but honestly, they have good universities, but there are very good universities all over the country, and some of the regions nearby are much cheaper, and they have at the same quality. Some of the universities in Valencia or in Castilla León or in Andalucía are top in the rankings, and so it's a question of choice, of course, but if there are some financial constraints, we advise people to consider universities in the regions. Well, this is the same. So the Spanish higher education system is same as the European one, so we have bachelor degrees that usually 4 years, but if you take medicine or some engineering, architecture, it might be 5. Masters, and this is a big difference with other countries, usually are 1 year. Some of them extend 1.5 years or 2, but most of them are just 1 year, only 1 year. And then the PhD, of course, can take between 3 and 5. The degrees or diplomas in Spain are recognized in all the European space as any other European country. It has an extra advantage, is that Spain has, for obvious reasons, a lot of collaboration with Latin American countries. So the Spanish degrees or diplomas are recognized automatically in Colombia, Chile, Argentina, because we also recognize them. So that makes that the diploma that you get in Spanish university has value in all the European space and in Latin America. The number of degrees is huge. Universities, there are over 3,000 bachelors, nearly 4,000 masters, and more than 1,000 PhDs. So sometimes this makes things a bit difficult for people to search for the thing that they want, but it can be done. In rankings, again, the pictures are gone. The Spanish universities offer all the studies in general, so they do not appear in the general ranking. You should search by subject. And by subject, you will see that both in the QS or the Times Higher Education, there are universities always in every field. So you go archaeology, you go economy, you go architecture, medicine, sustainability, and you will see that you find Spanish universities in the top 50. But not universities in the general ranking because they offer all studies. There's one in every region, and they are thought in a system that is the contrary to the Anglo-Saxon world, with very few universities offering all kinds of programs. So that's the reason. So you can see there that in the top 200, for example, in social sciences, we have 10 universities. In natural sciences, we have 5. Thinking that we only have 90 universities, this is a very good result. I mean, we have a very limited amount of universities, and a lot of them are in the top depending on the field. So if you are interested in searching and you believe in rankings, not everybody believes in the ranking, the way is searching by subject, not in general university. Well, in the top 50, you see, in arts and humanities, we have 18. Life and medical studies is one of our strengths, 16. Engineering and technology, another big strength, and social management and sciences. There are 96 bachelor degrees and nearly 400 masters taught totally in English. There are many more, but they are hybrid. So there's a percentage in Spanish and a percentage in English. Usually the first year, everything is English, and then the percentage goes down so that people integrate fully into Spanish, because Spanish is an extra. It's a language that is official in 21 countries, and it's good for students to get into the track of Spanish, but it's not mandatory. You can go to one of the degrees that is fully taught in English. Some of the reasons for people coming to Spain are the popularity of the country. We have like 90 million tourists. It's the second country in the world with the highest number of tourists after the US. The language, as I said, is 21 countries. If you are going to study international relations, by the end, you have 21 ambassadors speaking Spanish. I know everybody says there is 1,000 million people speaking English, Chinese, but there's only one ambassador speaking Chinese. So depending on the field, for some areas, knowing a language like Spanish is very interesting. We are the first destination for Erasmus students. We double the second country in number. Tuition fees are in public universities low. We will see later, but it's around 1,000 euros per year. It's very competitive for Europe. And then, as we mentioned before, the reputation in the rankings. There's a QR, which does not appear here, but it's in our booth. You can go there. It's what to study and where to study in Spain. This is a web searcher. You search by bachelor, master, or doctorate. You write the name of the diploma you are interested in getting. You tick English or Spanish, the area where you want to go, and you get a full list of all the programs that the ministry recognizes. It's called KEDU, what to study and where to study. This is in Spanish, ¿qué estudiar dónde en la universidad? But that's what it means, and it's a very useful tool to search for studies in Spanish. A lot of people are interested in masters because it's just 1 year. There are 2 types of masters in Spain, and one needs to be careful about this because the official master is the one that is validated internationally and that leads to a PhD. But a lot of Spanish universities have developed their own programs. They are called títulos propios. It's specific masters. They do not allow you to get into a PhD. They are thought for employability. So sometimes they are much better for employability, but they don't allow you to go to a PhD. So when you come back, we don't want you to feel like you have been deceived taking something which is not a proper master. It's called something different. Some reasons why students come to Spain is the language that we mentioned before. The standard of living for Spaniards means that health is universal, that the country is quite safe, that the possibility of having social life is high. This is not the same in all the countries. There are countries in Europe where their main reasons or investments is like, for example, changing the refrigerator, but Spaniards think about going out every night and having dinner with their friends. that's quality of life for a Spaniard, and the prices are reasonable, and that's what people think about. The cultural diversity, because there are very different parts of the country, that's why tourists come back and again and again. The price of the tuitions, and then the sectors, not all, but there are a few where Spain is strong in innovation and technology. For example, although this is all destroyed, in areas such as heritage conservation, Spain is the second UNESCO world in Europe and the third in the world. So anything related to preservation of architecture, archives, museums, history, all those things, we are top because we have been forced for our heritage. As I said, this year it's 90 million tourists. So anything related to hospitality and culinary, we have developed again because we're forced to. We have to deal with that industry that provides 10% of our gross national product. For congresses, meetings, and things like that, the revenue is huge, so that's obvious. But there are other areas, agriculture and biotechnology. Spain is also the country in Europe that's spending more money in renewable energies for obvious reasons, because we are the country that has also the largest coast, so the eolic energy, because it's a very sunny country, so also the solar panels. So in those things, we are really top. But also in health investigation, the fact and research, the fact that this universal health system has built loads of hospitals and research centers, so anything related to biochemistry, molecular biology, and so on. And then we are the second country in automobile production, so engineering, especially related to that field, is high. We commented on those things. The Spanish language, not only about the 21 countries, but think about the United States. It's becoming a bilingual country, and the number of people speaking Spanish is over 500 million right now, so you will learn staying there, obviously. The number of internationals has increased every year, so that means that universities can support you with a system of international students recruitment and support. You can see there are Egyptian students. We don't have too many compared to other nationalities. Our main sources are honestly Europe and Latin America for obvious reasons, because we share the same language. It's very easy for Mexicans or for Colombians to integrate into the Spanish system, but consistently it has increased as well. Right now, our data is about 600 Egyptians in Spanish universities. A degree in a public university costs between 700 and 1,000 euros per year in a public university, and a master a bit more than 1,000. The private universities, as I mentioned before, are not subsidized by the government, so they do not have those prices. They need to charge 100% to the students. This is the number of internationals that we have, and in Erasmus we're the first receiving country and the second sending, so our students also like to go. The cost of living in Spain out of Madrid and Barcelona is between 600 and 800 per month euros, and in Madrid and Barcelona it's higher. So as I said, one needs to consider some alternatives depending on the financial constraints. And then the web searches for scholarships, you have those there. The first one is our database, so you can filter by nationality, by type of degree, by academic area, and you will find initiatives from foundations, private companies, government grants, agencies of cooperation. It's a question of spending a bit of time and training, and then the rest of the programs are a bit more specific, but everything is included there. Thank you very much, and we are waiting for you in our booth. Thanks a lot.